Consider two people. The first hits the gym 5 days a week, lifts weights, and runs on the treadmill. Genuinely fit. Then they sit in a car for an hour, sit at a desk for 8 hours, and sit on the sofa until bed. The second person has never been inside a gym, but their daily routine keeps them on their feet from morning until night. Research consistently shows the second person is in better metabolic shape. 5 mechanisms explain how sitting quietly harms even fit people, and the last one is the simplest fix you will ever hear. Number 5. Your muscles shut down after 30 minutes of stillness. This is not a metaphor. When you sit for extended periods, the enzymes responsible for burning fat in your muscle tissue drop dramatically. Blood sugar rises because inactive muscles stop pulling glucose from your bloodstream. Your largest metabolic organ, your skeletal muscle, essentially goes offline. 1 hour of exercise in the morning cannot undo this. Your body does not bank that gym session and give you a metabolic pass for the remaining 15 waking hours. What your metabolism actually experiences is a long, unbroken period of stillness, interrupted by a brief burst of activity. And stillness is the dominant signal. Your metabolism responds to what you do most of the time, not what you do for 1 hour. That means someone who sits for 10 hours and exercises for 1 hour is still being read by their body as a sedentary person with a brief interruption. But muscle shutdown is only the beginning. Number 4. Attack something you cannot feel happening. Number 4. Your blood vessels are deteriorating from the inside. The cells lining your blood vessels, called endothelial cells, need constant mechanical stimulation from flowing blood to function properly. When you move, blood flows faster, and that physical pressure triggers these cells to produce nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your arteries flexible, open, and healthy. When you sit for hours, blood flow slows. The stimulation stops. Nitric oxide production drops. Over months and years, this accelerates the stiffening and narrowing of blood vessels that leads to heart attacks and strokes. Think of it like a garden hose that cracks and hardens when water stops flowing through it. Your blood vessels need movement to stay alive. The damage is cumulative. Every hour of sitting adds to it. Every burst of movement reverses a small amount. But the math only works in your favor if you move frequently, not just once a day. Number 3 explains why sitting changes your body composition even when your diet stays exactly the same. Number 3. Visceral fat accumulates even in people who exercise regularly. Prolonged daily sitting shifts your metabolism into storage mode. Insulin sensitivity drops throughout the day. Fat burning stays suppressed for hours at a stretch. The type of fat that accumulates is not the kind you can see or pinch. It is visceral fat, the dangerous fat that wraps around your liver, kidneys, and intestines. This fat is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory signals that drive insulin resistance, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Large studies following hundreds of thousands of people found that sitting for more than 8 hours a day increases the risk of early death. This relationship holds true even in people who exercise regularly. That last point is worth repeating because it challenges everything we have been told about fitness. You can run 5 miles every morning and still accumulate dangerous organ fat if the other 23 hours of your day are spent in a chair. Your body does not care about that one impressive effort. It cares about the pattern. If the pattern is stillness with a brief interruption, the stillness wins. Everything so far explains the damage. If this is changing how you think about movement, hit subscribe. We share practical health insights like this every week. Number 2 reveals the threshold where protection begins, and it is lower than you think. Number 2, the step count threshold. When researchers tracked step counts against mortality across hundreds of thousands of people, a clear pattern emerged. Risk of early death dropped sharply as daily steps increase from 2,000 to 7,000. The benefits continue, but start to plateau around 8,000 to 10,000 steps. But the critical finding is this: Even hitting 4,000 to 5,000 steps daily dramatically lowers your risk compared to someone doing 2,000 or 3,000. You do not need to train for marathons. You do not need extreme fitness. You need consistent, low-level movement spread throughout the day. Populations in blue zone regions, the areas around the world where people regularly live past 100 in good health, confirm this pattern. These people do not go to gyms. They do not follow training programs. They walk to visit friends. They tend gardens, which involves constant squatting, bending, and carrying. They live in hilly areas where walking anywhere means climbing. Movement is woven into every hour, not compressed into a single session. Their muscles are being stimulated from morning to evening, and their metabolic health reflects it. The human body was designed for this pattern. It was not designed for chairs. And that brings us to number 1, the single simplest intervention with the most research behind it. Number 1, break your sitting time every 30 minutes. Stand up, walk for 2 to 3 minutes, sit back down. That is it. Studies have shown that this one habit, these tiny interruptions repeated throughout the day, measurably improves blood sugar control, insulin sensitivity, and triglyceride levels. Your muscles re-engage, fat-burning enzymes reactivate, blood flow to your vessels resumes, nitric oxide production starts up again. Every metabolic marker that deteriorated during sitting begins to recover within minutes of standing and moving. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You would not brush once a week for 30 minutes and expect healthy gums. Your body needs regular stimulation throughout the day, not a single concentrated dose. The research on this is consistent and clear. Frequency of movement matters more than intensity. Short, frequent bursts of activity spread across the day beat one long gym session, followed by 10 hours of stillness. The practical application is straightforward. Walk for 10 minutes after each meal, especially after dinner, which blunts the blood sugar spike from food when your body is least efficient at processing it. Stand during phone calls. Take the stairs instead of the lift. Park further from the building entrance. Set a timer on your phone for every 30 minutes as a reminder to stand and move for just 2 to 3 minutes. If you work at a desk, a standing desk, or even a raised surface where you can alternate between sitting and standing, makes a measurable difference. Aim for 7,000 to 9,000 steps spread across the entire day, not concentrated in one walk. These are not cliches. Each one adds hundreds of steps and dozens of muscle activations that your metabolism registers and responds to. The mindset shift here is subtle but powerful. It is moving from the idea of needing to exercise more toward needing to move more. Those sound similar, but they are fundamentally different approaches. Exercise focuses on intensity and duration. Movement focuses on frequency and consistency throughout your entire day. Both matter. Both have real benefits. But for longevity, the research consistently shows that the second approach is actually more protective. The people who live the longest are not the fittest. They are the ones who refuse to be still. That is a choice you can make right now, today, without spending any money, without any equipment, without transforming your entire life. Just stand up more and sit down less. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.